If you appreciated the Lego games, but felt that they were a bit too plasticky, maybe a bit too kiddie-ish. Not that there's anything wrong with kiddie stuff. I love Care Bears and Rugrats and all kinds of kiddie stuff. But what about a game that's, like the Lego games, but more for a teenage, adult, crude, humor-loving, mature audience? Well, that's what Funko Fusion is. If you appreciated the old school Lego games, well, you'll be right at home here. And as a matter of fact, I hate to say it, but I also love to say it, this is way better than the last Lego Star Wars game. I mean, don't get me wrong, they improved combat in the new Lego Star Wars game tremendously. But that improved combat can be found right here in Funko Fusion, and is done, in my opinion, far better. It's just a more fun game. While the Lego Star Wars game tried to tell more of a narrative, as a matter of fact, I felt like the new Lego Star Wars game really made levels more like movies. That, yes, there was action, yes, there was platforming, but it was really about moving through the narrative experience more than just running around, beating things up, shooting things, platforming, that kind of stuff. Well, if that's what you're looking for, that's what Funko Fusion delivers. But what I really love about Funko Fusion is because if you're a Disney fan like me, if you've been to the Disney park, specifically Walt Disney World, my favorite ride was the Great Movie Ride. Still would be if it was there to this day. But I really feel like this video game kind of has that same energy, that same vibe. It's really kind of like the Great Movie game. Because especially with most of the Lego products, they were based specifically on one property. So to have all of these different properties in this game, from Jurassic World, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, The Mummy, Battlestar Galactica, there's Jaws, there are so many different worlds and things inside of this game, just tremendous. I mean, if you are a fan of Universal movies and of Universal pop culture, boy oh boy is this a great one. Combat, super fun. Platforming is fun. The puzzles, they are simple, but they are just really enjoyable. Basically, the game just kind of oomphs up all that great Lego gameplay mechanic stuff. But what I really, 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 really love are the environments and the levels. The levels are freaking amazing. They really capture and encapsulate each property wonderfully. The visuals are just stunning, and running around in the Jurassic World setting just put my mind being right back in the Jurassic Park area of Universal Studios. I mean, it just has a vibe and a half. This is just one of those games that you pick up and it's just so much fun to play. And you know what? Why are we sitting down really having these kind of conversations? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love talking about video games all day long. But I really do not understand reviews the way that they are being utilized. I mean, this is how I do a review. This is how I used to do reviews when I started on YouTube back a decade ago, before things got all funky wonky on here with algorithms, to where either most of us people's videos who at least don't work for some big corporate man or woman, but basically the person who wears the little hat, who holds all of the strings and puppeteers all the shit around us. I don't understand why reviews are about telling you, alright, the combat's great, okay, there's some frame rate issues here, and really what I'm trying to do is either discourage or encourage you into playing something that you're either totally excited for, or maybe on the fence about. Or there's that one rare occasion where you're not exactly on the fence and you're not exactly excited about something. It's where you're intrigued by something. You see something that looks interesting. But the problem is, there's been a lot of broken promises. There's been a lot of times we've seen something cool. We've wanted it to be cool. But we're just afraid. We're afraid it's not cool. So we gotta go and check with a whole bunch of people to see if that thing's cool. But you know what's really, really interesting about all of these different kind of reviews? 9 times out of 10, no matter what game it is, if the consensus says it's good or the consensus says it's bad, that's the consensus. And that doesn't make sense. We can do that with science, but we shouldn't do that with art. Art is the most subjective thing on the planet. The whole thing with Funko Fusion is, are you a fan of this style of game? If you are, it's executed well. End of review, right? I mean, that's basically all that needs to be said is, hey, look at the trailer for this game. Does it look cool to you? Well, it pulls it off. It's a fun, exciting, interesting, and even though it's definitely riffing off the Lego games, it feels new and fresh. Why does it feel new and fresh? Because these kind of games are so fucking rare right now. The kinds of games that you can just pop in and make you smile, make you feel good, have all kinds of good times with. And yet, gaming media isn't about trying to get you hyped up to have fun. Oh, he's on the gaming media soapbox again. Oh no, it's not a normal review. Well, do you know what? I love gaming, and I love video games. Basically, I love life, you know. And I don't like the shit that's ruining it for the rest of us who don't want to go out like seething zombies and just rip and tear things apart for no reason other than, Imogen, I didn't like it enough. I think that's stupid, I think it's ridiculous, and I think that's the exact kind of mentality that gaming media is cultivating. Like, you do not need to come and watch a review before you purchase a game. Take a chance. Oh, well, but I only have so much money and Jesus fuck, there are so many problems in the world right now. Do we know if aliens are real or not? I mean, that right there is enough to cause mental instability in a whole bunch of motherfucking people because there's so many people telling us aliens are real. And then there's all these other people over there going, oh, it's government security. We can't tell you anything, motherfuckers. And it's like, oh, okay, so you're just trying to fuck with our heads. Either these people who are blowing the whistle are telling the complete and utter truth and basically completely redefining what life should be. And I mean, don't get me wrong, when we redefine what life should be, we should be playing video games like Funko Fusion. We should be doing and playing anything that makes our hearts sing and soar, you know what I'm saying? But I do not think watching videos that are a clinical scientific expression of, that's not... Number one, it's not fun to make. Alright, I'm not gonna sit here and write and edit together that bullshit, because that's just not fun for me. There's gonna be somebody else here on YouTube doing that. If that's what you're interested in, go watch that. But that's also why I spent the first few minutes of this video giving you what you needed, what you wanted, telling you this is a fun game, this is a fun experience. So I'm gonna spend the rest of this video now ranting and raving about the thing that matters to me, that just fun is being attacked. And that's what this whole game is about. This game is about fun coming under attack from just an evil, tyrannical, supernatural force. Alright? Guess what? That's the reality that we all fucking live in. Oh my god, he's fucking insane! No, I'll tell you what's fucking insane, alright? When you're a diabetic and your diabetes goes so haywire that you can't get it under control, you're in and out of the hospital 40, 60 times in like 2 fucking years. Crazy, crazy shit, right? Well, you nearly die the very last time you go into the hospital, and then when they finally get you healed and all ready, they're like, hey, we're gonna give you your insulin, and I'm like, yo, that dose will fucking kill me. Please don't. You have fixed the problem. This is the first time in 60 visits that you guys actually fixed the problem. Can you not force an overdose on me? Well, if you don't take this dose, then you're refusing medical care and you'll have to leave. Guess what? If you want to give me that dose, then I will tell you, get me the fucking paperwork. I'm getting the fuck out of here, you fucking killing sons of bitches. You're wanting to fucking kill me. It sounds crazy, right? You get out of the hospital. Mercy San Juan, you get home, you watch the news. That same hospital a year before had killed a girl named Jessie Peterson. You can find that shit on news. Google Jessie Peterson, Mercy San Juan, Sacramento Hospital. Young diabetic girl with mental health difficulties who checked in regarding her blood sugar, and they sent her into cardiac arrest and fucking killed her. And why I say they fucking killed her is because they hid that woman's body for a year. Family didn't know where she was. Now, here's the one thing. Fuck the family, because this girl was suffering from mental health difficulties and was evidently living on the streets. This is the kind of shit that families do to people when they are going through their darkest moments. Oh, the person that I claim to love is difficult right now. They're going through difficult times. Well, you know what? Fuck that person. I don't want to deal with that person. Oh, but now they're dead. Oh, now I miss him and I feel bad. I think I want some fucking money out of this hospital instead of exposing the bizarre, strange corruption that's going on in our world that this young woman's death is definitely a fucking part of. Because I tell you this, when you go on the internet on YouTube and you are so naive to think that you can expose the government's secrets, like, okay, I know that was naive, but it was the best kind of foolhardy hero type of, yeah, you're the fool, but you're a hero too, because you're sitting here so earnestly thinking that, yeah, you've discovered all of the actual corruption secrets, all of the shit, all of the dominoes that prove that we are not the fuckers, that they are the fuckers, that even though we like to bicker, we fight against each other, we say negative shit to each other, alright, it is us powerless people who are actually the powerful people. Do you understand that we are the ones who make the entire big blue ball of earth rotate and spin? We are the cogs in the machines. We're the doctors. We're everything. Well, actually, I won't say we're the doctors because, you know, it actually seems like people who are in certain positions of authority are very much aware of what's going on out there. But those of us who are truly powerless, and guess what? If you're a doctor, you're not powerless. You're an EMT, you might be powerless. You're a nurse, you might be powerless. But guess what? If you're in those positions, you also see some fucked up shit that's going on. And guess what? You decide to stay quiet. Why? Because, oh, you need your paycheck. Now, I'm not saying that people don't need to survive and shit, but listen, it is blood money. When you're basically watching people die, when you can make all the difference in the world, and you're choosing you and yours, you're not willing to struggle, you're not willing to fight for something, that is blood money. Now, there's nothing wrong with burying your head in the sand, with hiding out, with just trying to survive, but there is a difference when the people who are providing you the resources to survive are the bad guys, when you're working directly for the bad guys, when you are keeping their secrets for them for monetary gain. That's a problem. And that's what all of these media douchebags are. That's what all of these gaming influencers are. Alright? Are they sitting down here telling you, hey, guess what? If I like a game, it's no guarantee that you are going to enjoy the game unless our tastes are similar. But even if our tastes are similar, that doesn't necessarily mean that we will enjoy each and every single game. People have a right to like and dislike what they choose to. The only negative thing I could say about Funko Fusion is my OCD gets irked by the fact that pistol-wielding characters, when you zoom in and you try to, like, actually do the, I guess, iron sights zooming in kind of aiming shit, you don't really see their pistols, their guns, like it's blocked out by their big Funko heads. That bothers my OCD. I mean, you can kind of see it if you're not zooming in aiming, and you can definitely see the rifles and shit, which look really cool, but, you know, I would be happy if the developers would fix the camera angle on the pistol-wielding characters. But that is just a really, really severe OCD thought. If I was going to sit here and let those negative voices when I'm playing a pistol-wielding character like tell me, oh, you can't see as good. Oh, you're not having fun now. That's the supernatural bullshit forces that are ruining things for all of us, okay? Like, seriously. I love Nicholas Angel, I love Hot Fuzz. It sucks that I can't see the guns shooting when I'm shooting things as Nicholas Angel in the game. It sucks that when I'm using pistols in the game, like, I can't quite see the really cool muzzle flashes and effects that are present. But at the same time, if I'm not going to play a game that is so much fun, that is so silly and so wonderful, and does so many things that just, again, makes my heart sing and soar, and I think that is the correct way to look at this kind of shit. Like, that's what this type of shit does for you. Smoke a bowl, get in the right mood, have some beer, have some pizza, do whatever it takes to just get into that good frame of mind, and then play the game. But, oh wait, think about that. We have to do things to get into a good frame of mind. All of us cannot just sit here and will ourselves to be happy and satisfied. Or at the very least, most of us can't. I am getting to a level where I can really breathe through it and can focus and hone in on the joy and can either turn down the negative sounds in your head or just turn them off. See, those are the voices I don't fucking listen to. I don't listen to anything that's trying to discourage me from doing something that I know will not harm anyone, and will bring me joy. Because I also do not need a voice to tell me not to do something that will harm someone else or myself, because I don't need to do that shit. The only thing that I want to harm in the entire universe is the forces of evil, and I would very much love to do it through supernatural prayer and manifestation, and I bet I can fucking do that, because my videos are definitely fucking shadow banned. I mean, you talk about the government as much as I do. Of course, all you're going to get are corpo bots, agents, you know, those facilities where they make it look like there's tons of people talking to you, but you tend to look at them and go, oh, they're all talking the exact same fucking way. You make a video that's all about the fact that all gaming media tries to do is say, oh, this thing should exist or shouldn't exist. You know, it's either good or bad. And yet, they treat that entire video exactly that way. That was my Sun and Bone review. It's so priceless that you're sitting there talking about the fact that it is so negative, so unhealthy for people to think that it's justifiable to sit there and go, this thing should or shouldn't exist. Like, it's fine to have negative opinions about something. It's fine to not enjoy something. But if you find a YouTube video that you don't like, or you find a game you don't like, or anything of that nature, you know, anything that's supposed to be entertaining, and it doesn't entertain you, that's cool. Go on to something else. You can even think of the reasons why you don't like it. Maybe you can even share them. But when the only thing that you're really trying to get across is, hey, this thing's bad, it doesn't need to exist, you shouldn't have made it, you should feel bad about yourself for having made it, go fuck yourself. Why the fuck would I listen to you, cocksucker? I had fun making that video. And that should be all that matters. At the end of the day, this type of shit used to be about, hey, we come on here, we make things that are fun to make. We want to share that shit that we had fun making with the world. That was healthy. That was wonderful. That was beautiful. That was good. There were always going to be trolls, but see, that's the thing. Now there are nothing but trolls, and they're not even the good trolls from the good old days. I mean, the trolls from back in, like, the beautiful early days of YouTube, the beautiful early days of social media. They were creative, they were clever. They were trying to hurt you as much as they were trying to have fun hurting you. Now all the trolls are trying to do is literally just discourage you, beat you down, break you down. I mean, yeah, we've seen this kind of bullying before, but it has never been this rampant, this seething, this frothing at the mouth with just such hatred, negativity, and anger. And in my opinion, the only thing to be frothing and seething at the mouth with that kind of negativity and hatred, the kind of, I'm gonna destroy everything, is to destroy negativity, to destroy evil, to destroy those things that are hurting all of us. There is no use in the world for a video telling you Funko Fusion's a bad game. No use in the world. There is absolutely a use in the world for people to sit down and explain, hey, you know, I get you might be interested in the movie franchises present in Funko Fusion, but if you're not into Lego-styled platformer action games, this really just isn't going to hit the mark for you. It's really not going to be fun or enjoyable. If you watch that trailer and you want to appreciate the game, but you just don't like the art style, and you're like, well, I would love to play through The Mummy, I'd love to play through Jurassic World or Battlestar Galactica, but I don't like Funko shit, and I don't like this Toys to Life art style. You know, it's not a Toys to Life game where you actually buy the toy, but it is like seeing toys come to life, and just, that's going to be massively appealing for some people. For others, it won't be. And that's perfectly wonderful. It's wonderful to know that there are all kinds of things out there that are suited to a particular audience, and that is exactly how it should be. Yes, we should make things that should have the widest net created possible, that can be loved by as many people as possible. That should definitely always be a goal. But there's also always nothing wrong with making something that appeals to a very specific, narrow, even small audience. And that's just the entire thing that I will ramble on and on and on about, and people can go, oh, you're rambling. I don't care. I care more that, like, people are being trafficked. And you have people going, oh, trafficking, blah, blah, it's not an issue. That's QAnon Trump shit. No. Trump and QAnon talked about it so that the people who actually protest and get shit done The younger generation, the people who would actually care if they realized, yes, children are being bought and sold by the richest and most powerful people on this planet. Grown people too, but mostly children. And no, not Hollywood people. Oh, they're the richest and most powerful on the planet? I don't fucking think so. I think the people who fund all of the video games, who fund all of the movies, I think all of those people who exist in the shadows, who are able to pay celebrities and entertainers to come to their birthday parties, who are able to give away diamond necklaces in their goodie bags, those are the rich and powerful who are buying and selling people. Alright? It has to be that way, because then why else, when you have shit like the Me Too movement, or anything else, do we not talk about children? Do we not talk about the seedy fact that people are truly being bought and sold? That children who should be at home having fun, playing Funko Fusion, laughing and dancing and just enjoying life, they're being bought and sold. And the others who aren't being bought and sold, by the way, since 9/11/2001, the child suicide rate has done nothing but fucking skyrocket. And it is most certainly because after 9/11/2001, kids started popping awake. They started realizing that the world around them was bullshit. They started realizing that they had been lied to. And maybe it was an actual conscious realization, maybe it was a subconscious realization, but it fucked up a lot of children and it led to a lot of angst. But do you know what saved so many lives, whether it be from suicide or from the fact that kids could have gone mass shooting way more back in the day than they did? And you're going to see a point here, because it increased after 2014, 2015. Well, what happened around that time? Angry, angsty music started dying out. All of the video games that were either made to be power fantasies that were like uber violent and just helped you get out that aggression, that just helped you deal with that anger, those started going away. The fun, just bright, colorful, cheerful shit that brought you out of your depression, that made you smile, that made you happy, that allowed you to breathe, that started going away. Alright, now we're starting to see a lot of this shit slowly come back. But I gotta tell you, it was the dark times between, the last gaming generation, the PS4, Xbox One era, from about just 2015, I would say, up until the last 2 fucking years practically, have just been nightmarish for everyone. But not only have they been nightmarish, but you could just see through art and entertainment, all the stuff that helped us started attacking us. Movies and TV shows that were once about providing a sense of comfort, that were once about giving you what you needed, what you wanted to make you feel good, now all of a sudden we're just going against the grain and we're going, hey, we're gonna make art. Like, they're making YouTube, they're making videos like I'm making, They're not giving a shit necessarily about the audience so much as what they think, they should show to the audience. Maybe that's a great way to make art, but it's also just the fact that there's so much harsh shit that's just been, like, we've had to use as entertainment if we wanted to enjoy anything new and we just didn't want to go back into our own little past worlds. You know what I'm saying? And see, this is why long-form videos, rambling on, just talking, like, this has merit. Do you know why this has merit? Because there's so many people out there just like me who have no one in their lives. Like, literally no one. Alright? We make videos like this because we're reaching out to the world, because we're going, hey, we've got something to offer. We're not that riff-rat. We're not that street rat. We're pretty fucking cool. And we'd like to find those other cool people who are just like us, because you know what? I am the chosen one. But I'm not the only chosen one. There are so many of us out there. Alright? And I do think the only thing that separates me from the rest of the chosen ones is that I want to get out in front of all of you and be your shield. I want to help you all do your work more effectively. And guess what? If we're sitting here believing in light work, if we're sitting here believing in the powers of the supernatural, that's what I've been doing. Because I have been under the most ferocious spiritual attack that you could possibly ever imagine. They have totally hijacked my health when it comes to my diabetes. And only through fighting back through supernatural means have I been able to save my own life. I mean, that's why it was so interesting to get out of the hospital that day. To feel like you were knocking on death's door, to be told by the hospital, if you leave, you're gonna die no matter what. Okay, game on, motherfucker. I'm still here, and not only that, I am feeling so much better than I have felt in years, possibly my entire life. I'm doing wonderfully. And the Sun and Bone review video that got so much negative shit just attached to it, that fucking lit my fire, that inspired me, because yeah, it's totally real. I'm only interacting with bots and agents, and I do believe that my spiritual supernatural forces may break through and bust that dam, and we may actually start to see some real interaction, some real people on here. But it doesn't matter if it does happen or doesn't happen, because there will always be some way that I can win this fight, because that's actually all I truly care about. I am here to fight the fight against evil, to destroy the thing that is making all of us suffer, when we should just be sitting back, relaxing, chilling, having a great time. And you know what? Don't get me wrong, I love smoking weed. I love having a beer. I love doing all that fun shit. But we're all running from something, or we're all trying to heal after battles from something. Like, it's one of the two. Either you're using all that shit because you're trying to run away from the monsters chasing you, or you're using that shit because you realized, hey, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to face those monsters, I'm going to chase them down, I'm going to beat the shit out of them. And that can get exhausting too. And after being exhausted like that, you need something to brighten your spirits back up. You need some kind of medicinal shit, you know what I'm saying? And right now, like, that's what we can do. We can use what works for us, because it's all about energy. If you find something that gives you energy, that helps you, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's not harming you, and you're the only one who can tell you if it's harming you. If you aren't being harmed, if no one else is being harmed, and guess what? The only way that other people are being harmed is if you are violating their consent by oppressing them. No one wants to be oppressed. Everyone wants to have the information to make the correct choices to live a good, wonderful life. And that is exactly what is being kept from us by those horrific bastards in power. I mean, we are just not sent to kindergarten to learn how to enjoy and appreciate life. That should be the very first thing that you learn, so that you can deal with the rest of the shit. You know, your first few years of learning should all just be about appreciating things around you, being able to listen, being able to understand. There shouldn't be pressure. It should just be about living and learning and enjoying that process. And then when it's time to really hone and shape that blade, then we start working on the more academic, challenging shit. There are so many better models of life. They are presented 9 times out of 10 in entertainment, and we just ignore it. We just sit here acting like it's just not possible. Oh, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Oh, it's just this way. No! The powerful made it this way. They keep repeating that bullshit so that we will not do anything to change it. Alright? That's why I sit here and I ramble, and I make weird videos, and I look crazy. But do you know why I also look crazy? Because I've seen all those news stories about mass shootings where they were supposed to have all those red flags, and I went, okay, if I believe I'm doing what I actually think I'm doing, then you know, it's like Picard said, you shouldn't be afraid to be court-martialed if it will bring truth and expose grave injustices. So I made the craziest shit possible. I have threatened the CIA, the FBI, police. I go online doing the craziest shit and just embracing whatever fucking psycho insanity I'm feeling. You know, even if it's all real, and I believe it is, and I feel that it is, and I know it is. But I say that because the whole thing is, it's so out of this world. And it fucks with our head in a way, because to even participate in this, you basically have to go against everything that you were taught to believe, to know. You have to completely kind of reshape and alter your view of the world. But it's worth it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to sit there going, shit, all this stuff that shouldn't work. Like, if I'm not breathing, if I feel like I can't breathe, but I also acknowledge that I think that something's trying to choke that life from me, and I just stand there and I start shadow boxing, believing I'm kicking the shit out of whatever's choking me. That should not help me breathe easier. If I'm just some weak, sickling diabetic who's, you know, all fucked up and shit, I shouldn't have been able to fix myself, in the sense that, Yeah, I'm gonna get pissed off when I'm dealing with you corpo bots. You are the embodiment of evil. Fuck you. But I'm also able to just live, enjoy life, to stop from repeating past mistakes, to see people who had been in my life who had really fucked it up, ruined it, and look at them when they're trying to come back into my life when I'm coming into my power. Not even money. Like, this is where you start to realize the supernatural shit is truly, truly, truly real, because the people who came into your life and fucked it all up want to come back into your life when you're getting stronger, not richer, not in any sense that you really have much more to offer other than, yeah, they just want to drag you down and drown the fuck out of you. So when something empowers you, when something gives you strength and will that you didn't have before, when you're able to fight off negativity in a way that makes it feel like a Dementor attack, and that you have expecto patronum the shit out of it. By the way, if you're not familiar with Harry Potter, a Dementor is this being who basically comes and sucks all the joy, all of the wonderful feelings out of you. It is the personification of like anxiety and depression as a creature that is full-on attacking you. And expecto patronum is a spell that is spoken that is using your force of will, your light, your inner strength to blast away that creature. It doesn't destroy it, but it is just such a force of will that it pushes it away from you, and it allows you to be able to breathe again so that you're not feeling like your entire body has become tense, like you're freezing, like you're aching everywhere, like you can't breathe. Standing there, picking up your little toy wand and saying expecto patronum should not stop an anxiety attack, but it does. There are ways to will you out of all of these different kind of negative feelings, and it takes mental effort, energy, and work. The more you do it, though, the more you level up and the easier it becomes. It's like taking on higher level enemies. And if you're not familiar with video game logic, that just means you start a game as a level 1. A level 1 has low attack, low health, alright? And you might be fighting a level 5 who has higher attack and higher health. Alright? And so if you keep attacking those level 5s, and eventually if you actually succeed, you're going to gain experience, and that'll bump yourself up from a level 1 to a level 2, level 3, and so on. And the more you do that, the more you'll be able to take on bigger and badder enemies. Now, of course, the more you level up, you're going to encounter enemies that are still naturally going to be a higher level than you, but if you stick with it, just like in some of these challenging games that are more about timing and patience than just outright, full frontal assaults, if you really get down that sense of timing and patience, if you learn to hold your ground and to basically just go, all right, right now I can't do anything but kind of white knuckle this, so I'm going to white knuckle myself through the harshest part of this. Then I'm going to find anything that makes me feel good, anything that makes me happy, anything that brings me joy, and I'm going to force myself to try to appreciate that by simply just doing it, whether that's listening to the song, whether that's watching the TV, playing a game, reading something. You're not trying to do it with the most maximum effort possible. You're not trying to go through the motions. You're just doing. It's difficult to explain, it's difficult to learn, but the more that you go at things like this, the more that you approach things like this, it works out tremendously. I cannot give you any more proof than by sitting here telling you. I couldn't breathe, I felt like I had no energy, everything was a struggle, everything just felt like it took way too much effort. And now things are beginning to feel, if not effortless, like I have the energy, the strength, and the will to get through that effortful moment, to get back to the wonderfulness of effortlessness. So I've had a blast talking to you in the beginning about Funko Fusion, and then just going off on a rant and on a tangent, because that's a conversation. That's basically what I like to do the most, because if somebody out there is vibing to this, I care more about that person who's vibing to this than that person who's like, oh, this video was stupid, this was the worst video I ever watched. Well, nobody forced you to watch it, dumb fuck. You did. I care about all those people out there who need to hear something like this, or who need a 35-minute video that's just basically talking about why fun fucking packed its bags and went away. But, you know, it didn't really pack its bags and go away. Fun was fucking kidnapped, and we can go rescue that princess. Or prince, depending on your preference. So, it has been a pleasure talking to you. I hope this has helped you decide to play Funko Fusion. I hope this has helped you, maybe if you were lonely and needed some company, I hope it helped you there. Realistically, if nothing else, I hope that after listening to this and going, hey, that wasn't like the best use of my time, maybe I would never watch this again. But I hope maybe it inspired you to go, there is no wasted effort on creation. Like, this is good for me, and it passed the time for you. Like, you don't ever have to come back and watch this video again, but if it killed time, that's a good thing. Like, that's ultimately the shit that we need, is to sit down and realize we don't have to be so negative. We don't have to sit down and think the worst of things, because it doesn't do us any good. All those people who told me all the shit about the Sun and Bone review, you didn't stop me. I just came back and did it, in my opinion, even better, had even more fun doing it. You know, I didn't put too much effort into the Sun and Bone review, and why I'm saying that is because it was the first time that I basically just sat down and did something just for the joy of, oh, I wanted to talk about this game, these are the things I wanted to talk about, so I did it. And no matter what people say, that video's gotten tons of views, and that doesn't even matter to me, though. Like, the only thing that really matters to me is if some people found something they liked about it and that resonated with them. And there are more than 10 people who liked that video. And I don't care if there's only 10 people who it resonated with. I think that we can sit down and create something that will make 10 people happy, or that can even just pass the time for 10 people, you know? Because those 10 people matter. I think those 10 people matter a lot more than the hundreds telling you, shut up, don't do this, you shouldn't create anything. Because I think 9 times out of 10, the reason why assholes come and tell us things like that, you know what, no. 10 times out of 10, my chosen ones, the reason why they're doing that to us is because they could never create anything that, you like, our worst day where we just fart something into existence, they couldn't even fucking do, alright? They cannot even fart shit, crap something into existence that's even worthwhile, in the sense that at least one person on the planet will enjoy it. And even if that one person is just you, the one who created it, guess what? You did something that made you feel good, in the hopes that it would help other people feel the same way. Oh my god, and people are trying to stop us from doing those things? They're trying to stop us from having conversations that could find people who relate and resonate with that kind of thing? Is it because if we actually sat down and realized that trying to expose all of these governmental corruption crimes, all of this strange bullshit in gaming media where they're trying to mind control us instead of actually just sitting down, and you know what? A review shouldn't be about discouraging or encouraging you. At the end of the day, if we are going to use a review for any of those specific kind of means, what it should really basically do is to kind of sit down and to either hype you up or reassure you. And the thing is, reassuring you doesn't mean that it's reassuring you that you're going to like the game. Reassuring you can mean you think you might like the game, but you think there's something just off about it, and that maybe it's not for you. Well, that review can reassure you that it isn't for you. The same as that same review should be reassuring people who the game isn't for, that it isn't for them. It should be hyping up the people that the game clearly is for. But that's not what gaming media does. We have two sides of politics, and all they do is bicker and moan, instead of representing if we actually had two parties and two differing, you know, opinions. If that shit was actually valid, that's how you run a democracy. It's not just whoever yells and screams the most and beats the shit out of the other side the most, because if that was the case, me and you could do that. We could shepherd and run society in that fashion. I mean, we wouldn't need them for that. You only have diplomatic leaders if you want something like in Star Trek, where they're trying to actually listen to all of the sides of the coins that are out there, and they're trying to go, all right, we need to figure out a solution that provides both parties with what they want and need. And the thing is, more often than not, two parties will want two different solutions, but if a third party comes in, unbiased, and looks at what both parties want and goes, hey, I like what both of you guys want. You know, if we remix this, we can actually find a way where you're both getting exactly what you want without either of you losing anything. That's what democracy, that's what diplomacy, that's what politics should be for. Because when you do that, then you can create, and by the way, we would go with it, we would agree with it. Because look at the fact that we understand our reviews are corrupt and bullshit at times. Politics is corrupt and bullshit. I mean, the news is corrupt and bullshit. Every place that we have to look that's supposed to be an authority figure to tell us reality, what it is, how to live in it, they're all lying. They're all telling half-truths, or they're spinning their opinions thinking that matters more than the simple truths that could unite us, that could show us that even if we all find different ways to express those simple truths, we all have foundations. And those are all those common beliefs and commonalities that can be found in everything, in every piece of entertainment, in every piece of religion, in every walk and way of life. We all have those same grounding foundations, and then we go off into the world and we try to find a way to express those, because guess what? But the answers to the unknown, the answers to the secrets of the universe do not matter, because what they actually do is hamper our personal expression. I don't want a hive mind. I don't care about having the definitive answers except for things that matter when it comes to life, like how is best to live a healthy life where you're not hard on yourself, where you're able to feel good. That's useful information. Do I need to know where life came from? Do I need to know where God came from? No, because those answers shouldn't change how we live life. They should be wonderful things to learn, but they should not change how we fucking live life. We should be kind where we need to be kind. We should stand up where we need to stand up. We don't need necessarily to be told what to do. Being inspired, being shown how to do things, sure. Show us things. Give us options. Give us choices. But most of all, give us fucking freedom. If you had a prosperous, thriving society, on any country, that country becomes the role model for the planet, and then that planet gets shaped. What we have right now is a planet that no matter where you are on it, you are going to struggle and suffer in the exact same way. You may think that there's a horizon, you may think that the grass is greener on the other side, but it's just another form of suffering. You will get out of one frying pan and get into another fire. Because the only thing that we can do to fix things is to, one, be good to ourselves. So we have to focus on the positive. We have to focus on the things that make us feel good. And we also have to stand up and kick the shit out of the things that are trying to drag us down. Yes, stand up and kick the shit out of it. Physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever you need to do to defend yourself, you fucking do it. Bear in mind the laws of the bullshit reality that you are inhabiting currently. But other than that, do not be afraid to stand up for yourself. Just understand the repercussions that might exist. And preferably have a plan to deal with those before you deal with the other situation, so you can kind of come full circle on that shit. I just want a better life for all of us, because no matter how hard you struggle, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you bust your ass, there's always going to be that bullshit that just breaks you, drags you down, and makes everything seem like it didn't matter. It makes all of your efforts seem pointless. And that's what so many people right now are doing on the internet. And maybe they're really not people at all. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they're not. Because if you're a corpo bot or an agent, even if you're a living thing, you're not a person. You're just some piece of shit who's out there hurting other people to get paid. Oh, that makes your life more comfortable. You have some kind of cushy existence because you know the supposed truths and you get to hold power over other people. When you feel bad, you get to go out and take that bad feeling and instead of feeling it, give it to somebody else. The only bad feelings that I want to give back to the universe are the negative, evil feelings that evil has bestowed upon me. I don't want to go out and find, an innocent child, a cat, a dog, and kick the shit out of it because I'm having a bad day. I want to go find that person who said, oh, you're about to have a good day. Well, I'm going to make it a shitty one because fuck you. I want to find that person. And I want to spiritually, mentally, wish fulfillment, manifest, stab them in the fucking heart, and just watch them drop the fuck dead. Because anything that goes out going, whose day can I ruin today, deserves to get fucking lit up. Alright? The only thing that you should be going out trying to ruin is evil. The only thing you should be going out there trying to fuck up and destroy is evil, is the things holding us back, holding us down, oppressing us, and fucking up all of what could be such a wonderful life. And I hope that little last part of the rant just helped anybody who needed to hear it, because I certainly needed to fucking say it. I will not go speechless. I will never be speechless. And that's also the point of these videos. Guess what, fuckers? I know I'm shadow banned. I know that you want me to feel like everything I'm doing right here is pointless and it doesn't matter. But here's the interesting thing. It's also a record of events. It's also the fact that, I would love to have this at the end of the show. Maybe this won't defeat you or expose you, but actually, judging by the placebo effect and how the placebo effect is connected to the effect of manifestation, then does it really matter if I get tons of views, if I go viral, if people comment, if people discover me? Or does it actually matter more that what I'm doing right now is the Care Bear Stare? Alright? I have all of this energy. I have all of this force of goodness and will because I'm a Jedi like my father before me. And I'm going to use the Force to force you to have the same shitty bad days that you've been making me have. Because at the very least, I know so long as I exist, there's hope for the world. If I'm going to believe my own crazy bullshit, then I'm truly going to believe it. If you all are going to tell me that I'm crazy, well then, bitch, you're going to get psycho. Alright? Because this shit's all real to me. When I felt like I couldn't breathe, when I was told I was going to die, and then I bounced back the way that Spider-Man does when he gets all his powers. Go fuck yourself. I'm not going to listen to anything but the good voices in my head. Because so long as I have listened to them, I have fixed my physical and mental health problems, and the only thing that irks me from time to time is the state of the world. But now, I'm still living in that same state of the world. I'm still not able to have an effect. I'm still technically what people would label a failure because I have not reached my ultimate goal of destroying evil. But I don't feel like a failure anymore. As a matter of fact, I feel like this is my job, this is my work, this is what I'm supposed to do. I enjoy doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it. On my time. When I want to. When I feel like it. Because at the end of the day, what's basically happened with me is I'm fucking free. Alright? You guys tried to trap me. You tried to curse me. You tried to put spells over me. But it didn't work. I broke through all that shit. I mean, I'm sitting here sober as a fucking whistle. at the end of the day, I am just so happy and proud of myself. And I hope anybody who's made it this way in the video, like, I'm happy and proud of you too. The only people out there who have failed the test are all the people who have the power to change life overnight and don't. If you're out there suffering, struggling, if you're out there just trying to make each day better than the last, like, you have passed your test. You are my Ohana, and I'm not going to forget about you because I'm sitting here telling you that I'm this special thing and all of that. Guess what? When this all comes to fruition, I'm going to fucking save all of you. I'm going to lift you all up. I'm going to give you what you all need. And I'm going to dedicate myself as I have. I'm further dedicating myself. I'm more dedicated than ever. You know, I've been doing this for a very long time, but it's like finally having caught my second wind. It's like finally having kicked the shit out of all the stuff that was holding me down and realizing, all right, this is truly a new day. This is a new era. This is the beginning of the great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And who knows when that tomorrow will be? It could be tomorrow. It could be the day after tomorrow. Tomorrow could be today. That's the beautiful thing about it. I have hope. I have faith. And those two things I will never, ever allow you to take away from me. And I hope so very much, anyone still listening to this, that I've given you a little bit of that faith, a little bit of that hope. And if I can't, maybe Funko Fusion can. So please, don't look up another video like this. If you're still here, if you're still listening and watching, please go do something fun. Even if you want to watch more of my videos, go do something fun for yourself, then come back, watch more videos, vibe, enjoy with me. If you want to reach out and contact me, go ahead. I'm here, always. But, you know, if you've made it this far, if we've sat here and vibed, let's take this energy and let's go do something really cool with it. You know, if you don't want to go do something just for yourself, like watching or enjoying or playing something, you know, go and create something epic. Like, if you agree and you think like I do, and you don't have to go out and challenge the forces of evil if you don't want to, because it is trying and they can hurt you. And if you're not careful, they can do much worse. That's why I want to be the person who's taking on, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. I sit here thinking that I have some form of great power. And even before I had some form of great power, I always had the idea of great responsibility. You can see from the very, very first video I made, what was I focusing on? What did I care about? I cared about the oppression we were facing. I cared about people hurting kids. I cared about the fact that children were committing suicide and that people just all the issues that actually matter just being forgotten. And at the end of the day, like, that's all that matters. And you'll see that I've had all kinds of differing opinions and views, and that I've gone on all kinds of different journeys. And I gotta tell you, at the end of this one, where I'm basically at is that anyone who doesn't live and let live is an enemy. Because if I'm not sitting here trying to do something to hurt somebody, and that's the whole thing. Like, this is where we're going to end on, folks, because this is the thing that I think absolutely needs to be said, especially if you're still listening right now. What's really going on is just a fucking fact. Fuck, they're trying to steal the thought out of my head right now. You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. Like, this is how, and you know those listening, alright? You know what this is like. And so, the thing that they wanted me to forget is the fact that, yes, anytime we've ever tried to have discussions about that life should be live and let live, there's always that person. Or anytime you say that we should just all be free, there's always a person who wants to stand up and go, oh, you mean we should be free to kill people? We should be free to hurt people? The only people who are going to ask that fucking question are the ones who want those kind of freedoms. So, you know, you're giving yourselves away, first of all. Because the rest of us just want freedom to party, to fuck, to listen to music, to get fucked up. Like, that's all we want, is to party. And to find others who want to party with us the same way we want to party. That's what we want. We don't want to force anyone to party with us. We want to go and find the party we belong at. But the problem is that none of us have been allowed to do that, because all of us who actually are like the cool, awesome ones who just want to party, like, we're the ones who are targeted. We're the ones who end up alone and end up not being able to find our group and shit because we are being kept from our group. The assholes are allowed to find each other. And then there are those of us who are honeypotted and are made to be friends with just people that we know off jump are not good to be around. With people that give us every single fucking reason in the world to look at them and go, go fuck yourself, I'm done with this. It was good times, but go fuck yourself. Because that's the thing. I mean, we did have good times with those people. But seriously, we also should recognize, yes, those times are good. We enjoyed them, but the story's over. And as much as we enjoyed the time and as much as we want to see good in those people, we know that at the end of the day, we should have kicked them in the metaphysical nuts, slapped them in the face, told them to go fuck themselves, and walked away. But that's exactly what this video has done to those kind of people. I guarantee you that, because they do not like me, they fear me. And I can tell you that because when you feel like every single dark energy force is just converging to destroy your life, and then all of a sudden you fucking break free and feel like you're that lit up, ascended superhero being who's just surrounded by golden light and just looking down on all the people who want to be saved and surrounding them with rainbow energy, and then looking at all the dark people and going, hey, I'm surrounding you too, but guess what? This rainbow shit saves all the good people, and it kills all you evil motherfuckers, because that's what the light does. The light saves people from darkness, and it burns away the darkness. And that's exactly what I'm doing here, so I hope you've enjoyed. And I hope, darkness, that you're feeling exactly like I did a little while ago. Weak, beaten, broken, just wishing it was all over with. Guess what? I can do this all day. And the thing is, the spiritual fight I do all day. Every single second of my life is an act of rebellion against your force that's just trying to make me lay down, die, and give up on joy and happiness and all the things that I cherish and love. You sit there trying to convince me not to play a game because, oh no, you won't have fun playing that game. Oh no, don't make that video. It's pointless and it won't matter. It's just a waste of your time. Well, actually, this time was very valuably used because I feel great. This was a very therapeutic and wonderful use of my time. So I think all that's left to say is, and you know my Ohana, I love you. You know who this is directed at. So when I say, go fuck yourself, evil, you're gonna burn and never return. All those good souls listening are like, yeah, fuck yeah. Because they made it this far, so they're true believers. And just hearing my words and just feeling good about them, that strengthens this magical spell that is now choking the life out of your little bitch ass. How does it feel knowing the tables have turned? How does it feel knowing that the hunter has finally become the hunted? That was badass! Alright, everyone, I love you all. So great to be here, so good to be here. We've all got a golden ticket. We are all Charlie. We're inherent in this Wonka factory. Why? Because we are the meat. This shit was biblically fucking predicted. Alright? And I'm not even a fucking you think I'm a hardcore Christian watching the type of videos and the type of shit that I say? No. I'm just somebody who stumbled upon the spiritual truth and was like, hey, this shit's dope. I didn't like the way it was presented to me before by all those people who were basically wanting me to feel afraid and weak. But when I find out you can believe in all the same shit to empower yourself and to feel like a badass and to basically destroy fear, well, I like that model. So that means that, you know, it's like a dick. It ain't the size that counts, it's how you fucking use it.